Just as a bit of a starter, I mentioned right at the start that obviously more and more businesses are looking outside their subscriptions and making money from their end user base. So that's sort of a little bit about why we've got the panel together today. So I'm just going to do a few intros to start with. Matt, you obviously heard earlier, he's going to be talking about one thing in particular that we are, as a business, looking at doing. We've got Gerard from Motorsport and Bianca from Hearst. So thank you very much for all being on the panel. I'm going to start, I think, with Gerard and Bianca, if they can just talk a little bit around the sorts of products that you are doing and selling outside your traditional sort of print and digital products.
Yeah, I'm happy to start. So when I started at Motorsport 5 years ago, so obviously came in traditionally, we're all about subscriptions, but we were very lucky in terms of the brand. Motorsport's been around for 93 years, so we've got a very loyal following who've been with us a long time. We're seen as a kind of authority within the marketplace itself. What we did originally, obviously, we just had the print subscriptions when I started there. We sort of produced, over the time I was there, we then put a paywall for all of our archive. So sort of this is where we started to make more money from our current subscribers. We introduced our interactive digital magazine. We introduced bundle subscriptions, then Digital Plus, which was basically having the archive access and digital together. All of this started to bring in more revenue. In fact, very quickly with the bundle side, with our current print subscribers, we're now at nearly 45% of those are up to bundle subscriptions. So it suddenly identified that these people were willing to spend more money with us with around content to start with. And then we started selling some individual products. So we started to do bookazines because obviously we've got so much content, and they started to sell quite well. And then basically we knew that photography was a big area in terms of our readers and what they loved. And one product we just started to do was a calendar, which we did every year. Basically, we only printed 1,000 of these, and they sell out. And I was thinking, well, hold on, these are our subscribers, these are our loyal fan base who are buying from us. And then it was a real test where we suddenly decided to do a Motorsport cap branded with us, because we realised that not only are they readers, but they're fans of our brand. And I think within the space of about a week, we put 40 onto our website and they sold out. And we're like, hold on a minute, there's an opportunity here to basically not only our own products, but to, as we're a voice and authority, and also within the magazine itself, we have areas where we look to do editorial around car products, trips, track days, all sorts of stuff. And we have suddenly built this in the last year and a half. We've suddenly redesigned our whole e-commerce platform, and now are starting to sell alongside partners, whether we're affiliates or buying products ourselves, car products, artwork is another one, so actual paintings. And also we realised that our subscribers we got quite an affluent readership, are actually willing to spend quite a lot of money with us. So we've just basically gone from subscriptions to now suddenly looking at artwork, calendars, and now a range of different products that has been working really well for us in the last year.
Great.
So at Hearst, we're very fortunate in that we've got a wide range of brands that appeal to a wide range of people. So as well as subscriptions, obviously, which form a big part of our business, we have looked at that and looked at audiences and thought what's going to appeal to them. So we have a lot of bookazines as well, covering a wide range of content areas, a lot of homes, beauty, fashion, that kind of thing. But we've taken that a step further now, and we're looking at other products. So we've launched this year a range of beauty boxes out of 4 of our women's interest brands. We also have a really diverse events business, which really relies on getting our subscribers to our events. We also have diaries and calendars, and we also have some larger ticket items. So we have things like carpets, sofas that come out of our homes brands. We also do gym equipment. We have a range of food and snacks, but we also have houses out of our House Beautiful brand. So a really wide range of products.
So in terms of sort of the revenue mix, if you can share, I mean, how much of your revenue, I mean, traditionally in terms of your end user revenues, it always used to be, newsstand subscriptions. Is this pretty major now? Is this really contributing quite a lot without giving away any secrets?
Yeah, huge for us. I mean, in the last year, our revenue just through the merchandise away from subscriptions itself is gone up by over 35%. And we are now looking into next year as you know, we're investing, we're changing the team structure around a little bit as well, because we see this as a massive opportunity. And our forecast into next year is to look into, you know, way over 50% that's going to start bringing in revenue for us. Because similarly, we've, you know, as I said, we've gone into high value products that we've suddenly identified that people will spend with us. And also noticed that it's, you know, it's a great deal of people who are not subscribers, not traditional subscribers, who've seen a real opportunity there and starting to get a lot more intelligent about the data that we're capturing as well. So yes, yeah, we see that as a really important channel for us, and also, as I said, the hierarchy very much see that as a very important channel for us, and
continue growing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really key focus for us as well. We are a print business and we have a lot of digital assets, but we're seeing that the market's becoming more challenging, print revenues are falling, so there really is a focus on looking at revenue diversification and new products and new things that we can introduce to our audiences. And kind of a similar thing, we've also restructured. We have now a consumer business development team, which I head up, and our focus really is on looking at our audiences, looking at how we can either sell them subscriptions in different ways, but then also developing new products. And you know, things like the beauty boxes and the bookazines, which we're really going to push next year, we're looking either to kind of, on the beauty box side, double that growth, and then on the bookazines grow that by 40%, which I think for print is really impressive.
And obviously data's been a bit of an underlying theme under everything today, and Gerald just touched on it. How are you managing all this data and this acquisition? Are they all in separate places?
No.
You pulled them together?
Well, this is kind of part of how this whole sort of strategy happened. Was sort of 2 years ago, we did have data in sort of separate places. Obviously, the traditional subscription CRM system. The advertising team had some data. We also sell photography. That was on a separate data system again. So basically, we spent a good 6 months building our own sort of single customer view and bringing everything in. And what that immediately identified for us was we were able to segment and look at our real sort of high value customers. And so it wasn't that their lifetime value was just around subscriptions, but actually we saw that some of them had subscriptions, some of them bought bookazines, some of them actually advertised with us. You know, some of them went bought other products from us at some stage, and suddenly we were able to identify sort of, you know, a good percentage of our data that actually not only could we sell products to them because they know they have a strong brand affinity, but also we could develop products knowing that we have that audience there already. So that has been really useful for us. And before we didn't really have anything other than their transactional details, but as we've built that, we've identified there are other areas that are of interest. So as I mentioned, area of photography and travel, et cetera, also, you know, in our particular niche industry, how many cars they have. Restoration is a big area for us. So we've put it all into one system, which has basically allowed us to kind of diversify this way.
Yeah, so ours is all held in one place as well, and it's a similar thing. You know, we can identify that somebody is a subscriber to Good Housekeeping, but they've also entered a competition that was on the Red website, and they've bought a fitness bookazine, and they've attended the Country Living Fair, for example. So I think having it all in one place really helps us to build up a good picture of who our audience is, what they're interested in, and then we can use that for marketing purposes. You know, we can really target our communications, but then we can also learn more about those people and that audience and develop products from it.
And obviously moving now on to a bit in terms of marketing of these products, do you lead with a subscription and then do an upsell, or do you market the products in their own right and then sell a subscription afterwards, or a bit of everything?
I mean, it's a good question, because this is where part of our main restructure now thinking is as we go into next year, is where the success of it has meant that we're forced into restructuring, because it has been a subs team traditionally who has extended out to market on the merchandise side or e-commerce side. But it's basically predominantly we're doing it separately. So we're looking, because we launch quite a lot of stuff much more regularly. Obviously, we're a monthly magazine, so we've got much more going out in terms of new products that are being launched in the e-commerce platform. Interestingly, around 45% of our success through the e-commerce has come from our current subscribers. So the success story really is that 55% were people who knew the brand and would come and visit our website, which has been growing year on year, which is we knew we had an audience that, you know, perhaps didn't want to take a subscription but would buy from us. So yeah, we're looking to restructure now, but traditionally now it's going out by product, with obviously the same team doing the subscription marketing.
Ours is actually two teams within the same department, looking after the marketing for our new products and our subscriptions. What I would say is that I've lost my train of thought. It depends on the product. So we might have, using Beauty Box as an example again, we know that the Harper's Bazaar brand is a key authority on beauty. We know that our audiences engage with it and trust that content. So those subscribers to Harper's Bazaar, we're going to market the product to them because we know it's going to appeal to them. But from a wider product perspective, there are loads of Beauty Box fans out there who will literally buy any Beauty Box going, and we try and target those people with a different message and then subsequently bring them into the brand and upsell them a subscription. So it kind of, we're trying to look at it both ways and then widening our audiences with the new products and then upselling them kind of subscriptions and other products that we've got as well.
Just to add to that, what's been a success for us, as I mentioned, that 55% who weren't subscribers but now have a transactional relationship with us, we have seen an increase from those, around 17% have now come up and taken a subscription as well. So it's been really, really strong for us in that terms.
Great. I'm now going to move on to Matt. We haven't heard from him yet, but this is a slightly different. We always say slightly different topic, which is much more about sort of advertising. We obviously know that traditionally advertising revenues, and for many businesses, it's a huge area of their business, and particularly digital. But we know there's been some challenges. So, Matt, do you want to sort of talk about what you're hearing from the publishing world about digital advertising?
To start, because I always like numbers behind everything. So back in 2012 now, marketing budgets moved from being spent on online advertising than print advertising. So that was 5 years ago. Now online advertising has doubled the budget of print advertising. Yet if you go to a publisher, to a magazine for a lot of the times, and you say I want to advertise in the magazine, you'll get 50 different options of how you can package that up, of different pamphlets and size ads and everything like this. But if you go to the website, it's just one option of, you can stick your ad on here, and it'll go in the top and we'll charge you X amount per day, and not really looked into. So I'm not saying that's everyone. Obviously, a lot of people are using a lot of very good technology to do it, some advanced stuff with DoubleClick and Google to do it more programmatically. But that seems to be where the problem is that ad revenue has moved from print to online, but yet the effort we put into serving those ads and those packages haven't kind of followed the same pattern. So we're kind of talking to publishers now, including some here, about what we can do to help sell that ad space and sell it with kind of more insight and more data. So actually bringing users information, although I don't know how that's going to go anymore. Bring in more data from those users to actually sell that ad space at a higher premium. So it's not just a one-off block, you can buy this ad here and it costs X amount, but be able to bring in, okay, these people have bought a subscription, these people haven't. These are male who live in London, who are on a mobile, and so on, to actually sell that space at a high premium.
Do you want to sort of go on a bit more about what you think we as a business might be able to do? We're having conversations with Google about some stuff. So.
Yeah, so I suppose, again, one of the other issues with this is the actual selling of it. Again, with print advertising, you maybe have a sales team who go out and do all the selling of this. But with the ads on the website, again, it's not always the same. Not for all publishers. Some of the publishers we work with and some in the room have big sales teams for their online ads, but some have none. So what you do instead is you stick on, say, AdSense and put that on your site, and it just fills in with kind of regular run-of-the-mill ads where you'll get a bit of money each time one is clicked. Now, the problem with that is it's low revenue. A lot of the times the ads are crap, and it's a lot of management to go in there and make sure the right stuff is showing up. So what we're doing is we're building a kind of publisher network ourselves, which will have access to what's called AdX, which is the higher version, which is an individual publisher is hard to get on because you have to be making 50 grand of revenue a month from your online ads to get on there. But us as a kind of publishing broker, we can get on there. And that way you can negotiate higher revenues, and on a CPM basis as opposed to getting paid for every click, and the quality of advertisements is better, and you can use more data layers to actually plug in all this information about your users, so that when you sell it, you can sell it to premium. Perfect example would be something like, say, BMW. BMW will be in DoubleClick, and they want to buy a load of ads online, but they only want to buy from certain audiences. So if you're selling through AdSense, they're probably never going to buy off you because they won't know enough about it. But if you're selling through AdX, they'll be able to see, right, you're a motorsport magazine, you have a demographic of mainly men between this age who are on desktop reading these articles, and we can pick these specific articles about BMW, package it up as an audience, and then sell that as a premium as opposed to just getting a few pence for every click. So that's what we're trying.
Okay.
Soonish.
Soonish. It's starting to be rolled out. So, okay, just need to say thank you very much to the panel.